The Founding Fathers said that in the Declaration of Independence that all men are endowed with their Creator, by their Creator, with certain inalienable rights. Do you agree with the Founding Fathers on that?
Sure, certainly.
Okay.
Certainly.
And they believe that their God-given rights were being violated by the British Parliament, which the British Parliament did not have a right to do. Do you believe that the state has a right to violate the God-given right of individuals?
No.
Okay, the state has a duty to protect the God-given rights of individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, by God-given rights, I'm assuming do unto others as you would have others do unto you. This is my summation of good living, if you will.
Well, I think that epitomizes sort of at the core of the natural law. I think Thomas Aquinas in the Summa wrote that the natural law, the first rule is do no harm. And so let's talk about that in terms of the social and cultural issues that America faces. I don't think anybody disputes, and maybe you will, but I've not heard of people disputing that it is a biological fact that from the moment of fertilization, that there's an individual human being in a mother's womb. Do you dispute that that's a biological fact?
Well, I support a woman's right to choose up until viability of the fetus. The law of the land the law of the land supports a woman's right to choose up until viability of the fetus, and viability of the fetus is described as being able to sustain the life of the fetus outside of the womb, even if by artificial means.
But you would agree that there are a lot of wrong-headed federal laws that you'd like to do away with, and probably some wrong-headed Supreme Court decisions. But my first question to you is very specific. Do you dispute the biological fact that at the moment of fertilization, when a sperm meets an ovum and starts to divide, that there is a unique human life there?
Well, I would suggest...
Is it human?
I support a woman's right to make that choice. Fundamentally, more than anything, I believe that is a decision that only the woman involved should be making.
Is 2 + 2 4? Is 2 + 2 4?
Well, of course it is.
All right, now if a woman decides it's 5, is she right?
We agree to disagree on this subject. I support a woman's right to make a decision that I think only she should make.
I'm trying to determine your position on this. When a human sperm meets a human ovum in a woman's womb, starts to divide, is there a unique human life there?
Clearly, we agree to disagree on this issue. I support, fundamentally, I think that only a woman should make the choice when it comes to this issue.
You're not answering my question. Is there a unique...
You're not this is an issue that we will never agree on, clearly. Clearly, we won't agree.
The biological fact of when human life begins, we won't agree on? I mean, certainly,
I think there's a science attached to that. That this is the moving target when it comes to the issue itself.
Are you a human life right now? Are you a human life? Yes. Do you have a God-given right to life right now? Did you have one the day you were born? You say viability. When you became viable, and I'm not sure that you know the day that it became viable, did you not have a God-given right to life the moment before you became viable?
Terry, what you're talking about is an issue that divides America. You're talking about an issue that amongst those that believe in a woman's right to choose and those that believe that life starts at the point of insemination, this is an area that we disagree on.
Now, I think we did agree that with the Declaration of Independence that all men are endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among them is the right to life. You agree with that? That all men are endowed by their Creator with the right to life.
Look, I've heard this. I've heard this.
Well, I thought I understood you to say that you agreed with what it says in the Declaration of Independence, that all men are endowed by the Creator.
And what you're saying is that you would take this away from a woman. You would criminalize a woman who is making a choice that I believe only a woman should make.
Now, Governor,
and you may perhaps be criminalizing the activities of doctors involved also.
What I'm trying to isolate is where you believe the state has a duty and a function in protecting, which I think you conceded was an inalienable God-given right to life.
Well, in this case, the Supreme Court has ruled that a woman has the right to choose up until viability of the fetus, and they have defined that as being able to sustain the fetus outside of the womb, even if by artificial means.
I understand what the Supreme Court has ruled, but what I'm trying to determine is if you concede, as I believe you have, that all men are endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, including the right to life, as a first premise. And as a second premise, you concede that the state has a duty. And the second premise you concede is that the state has a duty to protect the right to life. Okay, then it would seem to me that you're saying at some point it's okay for someone to go ahead and, with the full sanction of the state, take a human life.
This is a decision that only the woman involved should be making. And this is something that I fundamentally believe. So you get back to a person and what government should be providing individuals. Government should be providing individuals the ability to make choices that only they should make. And in this case, this is a decision that only the woman should be making. This is my opinion, Terry. You'll never change my opinion on this.
If you, in fact, were to get the Republican nomination and we're facing President Barack Obama, your opponent, when he was a senator in the state of Illinois, was the lead opponent of the Born Alive Infant Protection Act in that state. And quite simply, there was a practice, well documented, that was taking place in that state, where there was a form of abortion where a woman was induced to give labor and deliver a baby prematurely, and then the baby was left to die because it was neglected. And this law simply said that a baby born alive in the state of Illinois would be treated as a person under the Constitution of the United States, and would be treated as a human being and an individual. Now, President Obama opposed that law. He was the primary opponent of it. Would you support that law?
I signed a law in New Mexico banning late-term abortion.
Okay.
I signed a law banning late-term abortion, believing there is a point of viability. And I also, as governor of New Mexico, supported parental notification. I've also always supported counseling.
Okay, so you believe women can kill their baby up to a certain point in pregnancy.
You're using terms here that are very, very offensive to women that have to make these kinds of decisions.
Is the baby alive before it's aborted? Does the abortion kill the baby?
I signed a bill banning late-term abortion, believing that there is a point of viability.
This is the last question I'll ask you about this, Governor. So do you believe that the instant before viability, as you call it, that unborn child does not have a God-given right to life that is the duties of the state to protect, and that on the other side of that magical moment of viability, that the child does have a God-given right to life that it is the duty of the state to protect?
My choice as a human being would be to not have an abortion. But my position when it comes to you as a woman, that this is the decision, a decision that only you should be making.
So if viability is pushed back to the moment of conception, then you would then you would ban abortion.
This would be a scientific issue that I think this is where the issue is moving. So is moving scientifically to actually assert or to establish that.
So in your logic, the right to life isn't something inalienable that comes from God. It's something that's going to be determined by the advance of biological science and being able to sustain.
I think this is where the issue.
Sustain an unborn child. The right to life is determined by science's ability to sustain the individual outside the womb.
Well, or science moves to the point that back to information that this is the point.
Scientific development can shift the moment at which a person gets a God-given right to life that the state has to protect.
Look, we disagree.
Let's talk about marriage.